Now, our next speaker is going to take us on a journey with a tour inside the remote security services that day by day are replacing humans in the field of operations and offering a host of quality, cost, safety and security risk reduction benefits for companies across the EMEA region. This new concept is well known in the transportation and logistics sectors, but according to Francesco Giannini, Managing Director of Multi-Protection, it's not always applied by players in the supply chain. Today, remote security services have reached high levels of efficiency, guaranteeing for customers success rates similar and often better than those of physical services. And thanks to remote services and their lower costs, it's now possible to extend high security levels, which in the past have been reserved for only high value goods, to lower value shipments as well. This is especially important given the rising crime statistics that we've been hearing about during this event, and the fact that attacks against low and medium value goods are increasing because criminals consider these types of cargoes to be less protected and therefore easier to steal from supply chains. So, let's hear an update from Francesco now, which he recorded especially for this event at Multi-Protection's headquarters in Italy.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome and thanks for joining our presentation. Today, I would like to make a tour inside the remote security services that day by day are replacing humans on the field, bringing several advantages both in terms of quality, costs, safety and security risk reduction. This new concept is well known and introduced in both transportation and warehousing, but not always is applied by the players. Today, remote security services have reached a very high level of efficiency, guaranteeing customer success rates very similar and sometimes better to those of physical services. This is a very important aspect considering that statistics indicate that attacks against low and medium value goods are increasing, as those goods are, in average, less protected. Let's do a deep analysis of several other organizational and operational advantages included, for example, the possibility to avoid collateral damages related to possible contacts between criminals and guards, or, last but not the least, the environmental benefit having less escort cars on the road. So let's see our agenda for today. We will start from a general view of what really is changing and will change in the next year. And then let's see what is already possible applying remote services to security. Most of the academic theories say that in the next 5-10 years we will have 7 paradigm shifts that will change the organization and our lives. Those are the end of average, the end of doing, that is the more interesting for us, the end of reality, the end of abundance, the end of the profit first, the end of isolation, and the end of ownership. All of them are explicable in different way, but let's concentrate on the end of doing. Let's see some example. So what means end of doing? It means end of doing things through 3 main things that we see here. Superpower me, artificial intelligence and Internet of everything. The combination of these 3 things will allow us to stop to do something. So you can imagine that superpower me, it's something that is related to physically power the humans, but in security we can concentrate on the artificial intelligence and the Internet of everything. Let's see some examples. Here we have some example of what is changing, and some of those things are already in place. Some are well known. In the first picture you can see Google Maps. So there are nobody that asks information on the people on the road. Now we all use a navigation system to reach our destination. We can learn piano without any teacher. We can make our shopping without any cashier. Or we can buy fruit and vegetables directly from a little truck without any driver and any cashier. Or in San Francisco, in example, we can take a taxi without any driver because it is already active and autonomous driving system without any driver. So this is 5 examples about end of doing those things. But let's see what is changing in the security environment applying remote control. Let's see some benefits we are having and let's see how we are doing this. Escorting a truck and protected buildings remotely through telematic escort, artificial intelligence, remote access control, and IoT in general. Finally, we are replacing human with technology even in the security environment. Another benefit is that with remote control we are mitigating risks. Security personnel is safely closed in a monitoring room, so we can avoid all the probabilities to have contacts between offenders and guarding operators. We are mitigating the risk of harms. It is not rare that we have harms in case of attacks to escorted trucks. We had a couple of experiences in the last 10 years where the offender attacked the truck, an escorted truck, and at the end somebody was hurt about this incident. ARC operators work without tension as they are not on the field. And be more calm means to be more clarity in managing danger situation. Remote control is even easy to manage. Just switch it on and off. What does it mean? So in case of building, just switch on and off your intelligent security system and go home. Or in case of transportation, just plan a trip, just plan driver stop, and that's all. So we have low impact on company organization. It is 24/7 available, so always, and no need for respecting particular laws. You know that the escorting laws, depending on the country, are quite different, and not always it's easy to respect them. And we can say that there is no border. In example, for the Italian guards, it's not possible to bring out from Italy their weapons, and there is a very heavy procedure if you won't do this. It is so true that escort companies prefer to change the escort team when they are at the border with other countries. We can say that the remote control is even more reliable. As I always say, technology always works, and when it stops working, it works, at least normally. So we can bypass all the human weaknesses. Technology doesn't sleep, technology doesn't eat, technology doesn't need toilet, technology doesn't think outside it is set, doesn't lose time, and above all, it reacts immediately. And what about the costs? I reported here the average cost of an escort for a truck and guarding services. You can see that a physical escort is between 50 and 100 euro per hour, depending on how many car, how many guard, but this is the average I paid when I used it to do escort in my previous job. And then add to this toll, two-way, and fuel that have to be reimbursed apart. The cost of a telematic escort is something like 350 euro per month for truck plus trailer, included system and unlimited trip control. So you can see that the difference is very high. And what about the hidden cost? So who is organizing the escort from a customer perspective? And especially if, as I said before, if it is required an international trip, we have still the border problem to manage. No hidden cost for telematic escort. Once it is planned, it will be as it was planned. And what about the building? If you put a guard on a site, it will cost more or less, in average in Europe, we can talk about from 20 to 24 euro per hour. And it means that you will spend around 200,000 euro per year to have a 24/7 service. If you put the best system that you can have, so let's say an artificial intelligence system that can remark that somebody is trying to break in before they are breaking in, you can spend between 2,000 to 4,000 euro per month in average, having something that is very, very, very effective. And what about the performances? Here I can speak just for my company, and we can say that in the last 5 years we didn't have any incident on building controlled by artificial intelligence and truck under telematic escorts. We had several attempts, but thanks to the technology and thanks to the fact that the intelligence is moved on site or on the truck, we didn't have any attempt that was successful for the offender. And last but not the least, in one of the last Vigilance, we saw that the attention of the criminal is more focused now on medium and low value goods, as they are less protected. As the cost of the remote control is more sustainable, we can even think to apply high security level to the goods that are more targeted in the last year. And it will help us to stop the attacks or to prevent or avoid the attacks even on medium and low value goods with a sustainable cost. So let's see together a case study here. Let's say we have a big building site with vehicles, equipments, and all the things we need to make our construction. And every evening at 5 p.m., the staff leaves the site, and normally we have a guard that stays at the gate all night long to check that nobody get in. This is a typical application of the security equipment that can replace human service, because in example with our ET, we called it ET because it recalls with this extendable neck the star of the 80s. I was saying that with our ET we can check a range of more than 200 meters, putting the equipment in the center of the building site, and we can use artificial intelligence to check the whole perimeter. So better than a guard, and it costs maybe the half or less. I hope I have given you some food for thought. So thank you everybody, and see you all at the next In Presence conference. Bye bye.
And thank you so much to Francesco for a very interesting update. And don't forget that if you do want to connect with Multi-Protection or any of the Tapper EMEA 2023 Premier partners, they are waiting to hear from you now and all day today in our special virtual exhibition area on our conference website.